So the WNBA CBA situation is something that is just going on forever. It's been going on forever. I don't know when it's going to stop. I don't know if it's going to stop. I don't know what's going on. That's the only thing I can say about it is I just don't know. We all just don't know. However, one thing is for sure, it's close to the conclusion one way or another. And I spoke yesterday about the new proposal and basically saying everyone's talking about, the revenue split is the same. The revenue split is the same. Look, if that's what it comes down to, there would be the players would already be striking. If it comes down to not budging on the rev split situation, the strike would already have happened. The strike would already have happened. There's no way in hell the players will get the revenue structure that they want. They could get the pay that they ask for, or close to the pay they ask for, but they can't get the structure because of the way the league's payment is structured. And Adam Silver shut that down from the very start. Like, he's probably the person that wants to keep the league alive more than anyone. He shut that down. Like, the league will die before the payment structure gets switched into something because they've given up. Because there are too many, by the way, there are too many shareholders. Like, the NBA, every single WNBA owner could be on side for the revenue structure the way the players want, and it still wouldn't get passed. At the end of the day, though, they did offer an extra $50,000 per player. And I don't think the league are going to accept this proposal, by the way. But my guess is the league are going to come back and say, okay, and instead of talking about split percentages and everything, say 7 million. 7 million. All the projected. When you're talking about, we'll give you, this is your base and it can work up to this. No. What you say we can work up to, that's not our base salary. And push it up to 7 million. For 12 players, it's an average of $600,000 each, 1.5 million max. And we're good. That is what I think the players will come back with. And that is an amount that I don't think the league are going to push back on. I don't think they're going to push back on that. At the end of the day, we're at the stage now where, for the sake of 2 million per team, per team per year, I don't think the league is going to be, not the league's not going to push back on it. I don't think the league are going to say no, and I think it's going to be done. That would be my assumption. 50,000 more per player as usual is pretty nice, well as extra housing, issues current rookie deals. Last year, the older players seem to touch on the contention issues the majority of low to mid-level players, which are the majority. My guess is that the WNBA explained they want better gross revenue share. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. And my guess in a meeting is look, we can work with you on some things, but with the way our league revenue is structured, we can't give you gross revenue. And it's not that we physically can't. It's that there are people that want this league to shut down that will happily let it shut down. There are multiple NBA owners that want to cut their losses and want to shut this league down. So unfortunately, they have as much say as your owner does in what happens. And unfortunately, there's too many of them. There's too many of them. It's not going to happen. It's absolutely not going to happen. And that is unfortunate for the players. But I do think in general that they can obviously go and look for more money, which I think they're going to do. The players have not responded with an inflatable rat. The players have not responded to this. And by the way, it is Monday. All-Star Weekend is Saturday. These players are not very good at keeping secrets, by the way. They're not very good at it. If they were going to strike at All-Star Weekend, we would know. We would absolutely know if they are going to strike on All-Star Weekend. It is obvious that this is being considered. And I think the league the players are going to go back to the league with a final proposal. And that final proposal is probably going to be, the league wants to pay $5.65 million. The players wanted 10. Somewhere in the middle. Maybe 7. 7 to $7.5 million. And that's something that I do believe that they can negotiate for. Because at the end of the day, if they try to argue what they believe they deserve, there's always the side of the owners and of a lot of other people that, well, your league lost money for 30 years and was being propped up by the NBA. You don't deserve anything. Which I don't agree with, by the way, because especially with the way it is now, the league is in a position now that it can stand on its own without the NBA, but the NBA own a certain percentage of the league. They pump money into it. They funded it for 30 years. And unfortunately in business, when it comes down to it, if somebody's been pumping money into something for that many years, like they're not going to say out of the goodness of their heart, give up all future profits. They're just not, especially because these are multi-billionaires who are what you call it. These billionaires who, like, you have to have a certain time mindset to make as much money as they have in the first place. So I would love it if I thought, like, I'm absolutely on the players making every cent that they can. But I also think that the players not making any money and the league shutting down is going to prevent the players from making all the money they can. And it could be an absolute disaster for women's ball. But that's pretty much it, lads. Let me know, do you guys agree or disagree with this? Because we're now in the final stretch. We are in the home stretch. We will probably know, it's the 9th of February. We would probably know by Friday week whether or not there's going to be a season. Because the players it's at the stage now where the players will strike. The players absolutely will strike if, like, there's nothing done by then. If they deemed this completely unacceptable, they would already be on social media. The PA have shown that they can't keep secrets, that they're not very good at staying quiet in any situation, and that they will speak from the heart rather than the head in a lot of situations. Even if like, they could be wrong, they could be right. But let's be real, like, they basically made an entire post saying that all the NBA is trying to do is hold them back, and what else was it? And that was the same one where they said people are watching Alyssa Thomas. Like, sometimes they will post and say dumb shit. Sending angry emails to Kathy Engelbert, like, what relevance is that? What relevance is that at all? But look, at the end of the day, it is what it is, and hopefully we can start talking about free agency. Hopefully we can start talking about free agency soon.